KFC, also commonly referred to by its historical name Kentucky Fried Chicken, was founded by Colonel Harland Sanders, an entrepreneur who began selling Southern fried chicken from his roadside restaurant in Corbin, Kentucky during the Great Depression. Sanders identified the potential of restaurant franchising, and the first Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise opened in Salt Lake County, Utah in 1952. KFC popularized chicken in the fast food industry, diversifying the market by challenging the established dominance of the hamburger. Branding himself Colonel Sanders, the founder became a prominent figure of American cultural history, and his image remains widely used in KFC advertising. Harland Sanders was born in 1890 and raised on a farm outside Henryville, Indiana. His father died in 1895, and to make ends meet, his mother took work at a canning plant. After leaving the family home at age 13, Sanders pursued several professions including railroad worker and insurance salesman with mixed success. In 1930, University School of Hotel Administration. By 1936, his business had proved successful enough for him to be given the honorary title of Kentucky Colonel by Governor Ruby LaFoon. In 1937, Sanders expanded his restaurant to 140 seats, and in 1940 purchased a motel across the street, the Sanders Court and Cafe. Sanders was dissatisfied with the 35 minutes it took to prepare his chicken in an iron frying pan, but he did not want to deep fry. In 1939, the first commercial pressure cookers were released onto the market, predominantly designed for steaming vegetables. Sanders bought one and modified it into a pressure fryer, which he then used to prepare chicken. The new method reduced production time to be comparable with deep frying, yet, in Sanders' opinion, retained the quality of pan-fried chicken. In July 1940, Sanders finalized what came to be known as his original recipe of 11 herbs and spices, although he never publicly revealed the recipe. After being recommissioned as a Kentucky colonel in 1950 by Governor Lawrence Weatherby, Sanders began to dress the part, growing a goatee and wearing a black frock coat, later switching to a white suit, a string tie, and referring to himself as Colonel. By 1956, Sanders had 6 or 8 franchisees, including Dave Thomas, who eventually founded the Wendy's restaurant chain. KFC popularized chicken in the fast food industry, diversifying the market by challenging the established dominance of the hamburger. In 1960, the company had around 200 franchised restaurants. By 1963, this had grown to over 600, making it the largest fast food operation in the United States. In 1963, Sanders met John Y. Brown, Jr., a young Kentucky salesman, who explained that he was keen to join the company. Sanders instead proposed the sale of the company, as he lacked an obvious or willing heir among his relatives. The company's rapid expansion made it too large for Sanders to manage, so in 1964 he sold the company to a group of investors led by John Y. Brown, Jr. and Jack C. Massey. Once too large for Sanders to manage, Kentucky Fried Chicken grew to overwhelm John Y. Brown as well. In July 1971, Brown sold the company to the Connecticut-based Heublein, a packaged food and drinks corporation, for $285 million US, around $2.14 billion in 2023. Brown personally gained around $35 million from the sale. Heublein planned to increase KFC's volume with its sales and marketing expertise. Sanders died in 1980 from pneumonia at the age of 90, having continued to travel 200,000 to 250,000 miles a year up to this time, largely by car, promoting his product. By branding himself as Colonel Sanders, Harland became a prominent figure of American cultural history, and his image remains widely used in KFC advertising. There were 5,800 KFC outlets worldwide by 1983, located across 55 countries. In July 1986, Reynolds sold KFC to PepsiCo for a book value of $850 million, around $1.8 billion in 2013. At the time, PepsiCo had interests in soft drinks and snacks, and also owned the restaurant chains Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. In August 1989, Cranor proposed amendments to the existing 1976 contract for U.S. franchisees. PepsiCo could take over weak franchises, existing restaurants would not be safeguarded against competition from new outlets, and PepsiCo would have the right to increase royalty fees. In March 1991, the KFC name was officially adopted. In August 1997, PepsiCo spun off its poorly performing restaurants division as a public company valued at $4.5 billion, around $6.5 billion in 1997, 2013. Although KFC had been doing well, Pizza Hut and Taco Bell had been underperforming. One PepsiCo executive admitted, "Restaurants weren't our shtick." The new company, named Tricon Global Restaurants, had 30,000 outlets and annual sales of $10 billion, around $14 billion in 2013 at the time, making it second only to McDonald's in global sales. Tricon was renamed Yum! Brands in May 2002. Now it is the world's second-largest restaurant chain, as measured by sales, after McDonald's, with over 30,000 locations globally in 150 countries. The chain is a subsidiary of Yum! Brands, a restaurant company that also owns the Pizza Hut and Taco Bell chains. It is headquartered at 1441 Gardner Lane, Louisville, Kentucky, in a three-story colonial-style building known colloquially as the White House, due to its resemblance to the U.S. President's home. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.